I'm Jen, and this is Friday Sews. And Friday Sews is when we talk about sewing in life. And so click on the hashtag. It will take you to all kinds of people who do it. And while you're down there in the description box or in the top comment, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of mine. Well, hi. I've been gone for a couple of weeks and very busy, and I'll tell you all about it when we get to life. But let's talk about sewing, shall we? That's why we're here, to talk about sewing. Well, I got a little bit done before I left to go on my trip, and then I came back and I've gotten more done. But it's been slow going, and I've only been here for 2 days, so I'll get to it, not eventually, but presently, like directly. I don't know, what's the right word? I think in the South they say directly. Okay, well, let me tell you what I'm doing. I am working on New Look 6289 with the pockets from New Look 6055. I have this fabric, and I made a vest and a skirt from it. Gorgeous. It is 100% cotton. I found it at Hobby Lobby in the home deck section, and it's great fabric. And I keep messing up and having to go buy more. It's kind of funny. I think I've bought like 10 yards of this at this point. Well, I went to make the pants from the pattern. It's a Butterick pattern that has the vest and pants or shorts. And I was working on the pants, and you know what? It was a problem with gaping at the pockets. I don't know why I keep running into that. So it wasn't working, and I got tired of fiddling with it, and I thought, this is making me crazy. So I set that aside. Then I thought, you know what? I don't really even like those pants. I would really like some elastic waist, wide leg pants. So I cut those, and I cut the pocket wrong. So I needed to cut one front piece. One was fine. I needed to cut the other one. And I ran out of fabric because I'd already made a vest and a skirt and cut a pair of pants. So went back to Hobby Lobby, got 3 more yards because I thought, well, you know what? I think maybe I might want to make a jacket. I don't know. While I'm standing here, I might as well get 3 yards. So I did. And that is all ready for me to cut that extra piece. I don't know. I've got something laying here. I think I may have already cut it. I'm not sure. Gotta get the brain going. So anyway, those are underway, and you know how pants are. Pants are pretty quick to do. So this is fine. It's been washed. It's ready to go. Just gotta get it done. I cut all these things at the same time before I left, and I just kind of worked my way through them. As soon as I ran into trouble with that, I thought, okay, well, I can't do that right now. And I wanted to wear those on the plane, but I ran out of time. I just thought, I'm not going to kill myself to make these pants. I'm just not. So I didn't. So then I moved on to Simplicity 8848. I have made these pants before, and I like the idea, but for some reason they didn't work on me. So I'm not sure why that was, but I'm willing to give them another try. This is a wrap top and dress. I am making the sleeveless version out of this fabric, which I still have a little bit left of. Oh my gosh, I probably got enough for a tank top. This is from Joann's about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 5, I don't know, some years ago. And I have used it for a dress, a McCall's dress. It's just a sundress. It's actually one of my favorites. It's tiered. And then I also did a topper, which is a Simplicity pattern, which has like a kimono kind of a top, and then it has a waistline, and then it flares out. So I used it for that, and now I'm using it for this top. It's the fabric that will not quit. So anyway, I'm working on this, and I made some mistakes because it's asymmetrical, and you have to cut a separate front piece, front left and front right, and I wasn't paying attention, and this is a same on both sides fabric, and right side and wrong side. So anyway, I had to redo a couple of things, but it worked out fine. One of the ties is actually longer than the other end, so I'm almost done with it. I've got it pretty well finished. except for the binding on the armholes. And I've been trying this on all along. I've learned my lesson about sewing and trying things on and catching little things before they get to be a problem. And I noticed that the armholes on this are cut really high. It just, needs to be cut deeper. So I got to do that and then put the binding on and then it's done. Yay. So that's that. And then I cut out Style 2493. I can't even think of when this is from, but I had some pink lining. I think this is lining. It's like a polyester. At Joann's, it used to be called Posh. It's just polyester, which is not my favorite. If I had another fabric, I would have worked with it, but actually this would be gorgeous in chiffon. But chiffon and I do not get along at all, not even a little bit. So that would, be great, but no, it's never going to happen. So this I cut out for this, and I cut out view C, and I'm doing it sleeveless instead of with the long sleeves that this has. This is just a gorgeous top, and I thought, I don't have a pink top. I think I might like to have a pink top and some pants to go with it. I don't know. I just think I might. So it's really pretty. So it's cut out, but it's not gone anywhere yet. It has not been made. So that's that. So let me see, what else have I got? I did come in here yesterday and I made a KitchenAid bowl cover. my bowl on my KitchenAid mixer needed a cover because I make a lot of bread, and so I just needed something easy to cover it. And also I store a lot of my bread making stuff in the bowl, and it sits on my counter. And so I thought, well, I just need something to cover that up. So I didn't do it very well, made a lot of mistakes. I know better. It was like one of those make it up as you go along. And so I have a pattern. It's right here. I just traced around the bowl and then added 2 inches and made 2 of them, turned them inside out, and then did a casing. And I did the casing wrong. It's just dumb stuff. It's like, honey, do you know how to sew? Because you've been sewing for over 50 years, and this is ridiculous. So I'm going to make another one because I pulled the elastic too tight. And the thing about it is, if you do that, it fits really nicely if you can get it on. It's crazy. Anyway, so I'm going to make another one of those. But that's really all I've done in the past day or so, because I didn't get home until Wednesday. So a couple more things I got to show you. First of all, I am collecting all of the patterns from when I was young that I made. And as I see them, I grab them. And this was one I'd been looking for. This is Butterick 4826. I think it's from 1977. And I wore this for my high school graduation. It was so cute. I did it in a white fabric, but it was almost like a damask, like a tablecloth damask, but not quite. I don't think it was quite that heavy. It was kind of a rough, textured white fabric, but it was really pretty. And this is a little halter that wraps in the back and comes around front and ties. It was so cute. I loved that dress. You know what? I love having it. And so what I've done is frame these with the fabrics as close as I can get them to what I used to make the pattern. So I've got a couple framed. I don't have all of them framed that I want to have framed, so I'm working on it. And then when I was up in Ohio, my mom's sewing machine quit working around Christmas. I was trying to sew with it, and it's a Bernina 930, and it's just quit. Like the needle whole thing would not go up and down. And so my dad and I fiddled with it, and it just it was beyond what we could do to fix it. So it needed to be serviced, and it weighs probably a good 35 pounds. My mom is older, she's 86, and she can't lift it. So while I was there, on my way back to the airport, I stopped at a little quilt shop called Sew a Lot. It's in Centerville, Ohio. And I dropped it off and explained what was wrong, and they're going to service it and then call her. So I'm in this little quilt shop, and all fabric. Do I need to say anything else? Fabric. Well, I had decided before I went up there that I really wanted to replace the mug rugs that I had made for my mom and dad. I followed a tutorial a year ago last spring, this past spring, like 2024 spring, from Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews, and she had done some tulips, and they were so cute, and it was just a little bit of quilting, and I thought I can do that, and so I did. And I gave them to my mom and dad, and they've been, you know, on their end tables in the living room where they have all their stuff because they sit in there a lot. And they're looking kind of ragged. Not terribly, but, you know, I don't know. They put their coffee on it, and so sometimes it'll slosh over. Anyway, so I thought I'd make them new ones. Well, I was going to do that before I left, and I didn't have time. I didn't make enough time to do it. So I'm in this quilt shop and I'm thinking, well, I'll do some more mug rugs. So I picked out 1/8 of a yard pieces, and I'm just going to do strips, you know, nothing fancy, and then a border and then binding. So for my mom, she loves these colors. So she has these colors in her living room, and she loves these colors. They're very fallish. So I got 1/8 of a yard of each one of these. Maybe it's better to do it this way, as you can kind of get a better, idea. So that's a mug rug for her. Then I went and I looked at some fabric for a mug rug for my dad, and I wanted to do some blues, but I made a change, which I will explain. So this was one of the colors that went with the blue that I chose, but there was a problem with that because this fabric was on sale and you had to buy at least a yard. And I thought, well, shoot, just give me 2 yards. So it is gorgeous. It's a Robert Kaufman. It's so pretty. And so this did go with it nicely. The thing was, it's floral, it's pansies, but for as thin a strip as I'm going to use for the mug rugs, I thought it'll look abstract. You won't even be able to tell it's floral. So I thought, that and no. So I got it. I think this is a fat quarter. I'm not sure, but anyway, that didn't work. But this is going to make a beautiful skirt, probably is what I'll make. 2 yards. Yeah, I can do a skirt out of 2 yards, right? Yeah, I think so. God, so gorgeous, and it feels so nice. And that'll change as soon as I throw it in the washer, but oh well. Anyway, and then I got 2 more. These were so cute. And the reason I got these is because I was watching one of Nikki at Pin Cut Sew, her videos. I love her. And she did one on postage stamps that you can make from little pieces of fabric. And so I thought, I don't have any quilting fabrics that have little like prints on them, you know, like little cats or little dogs or little, I don't know, figures that are gardening or something, you know what I mean. So I saw these flip-flops and I thought that would be cool. And you just cut a little piece of fabric. I'll link her video down in the description box and in the top comment. But anyway, you can see how she does it. But you just make stickers. And I thought it was such a cool idea. Just a quick little project, you know, when your brain's gone to mush and you just need something easy. And I thought, that'd be fun. So I got that one. And then I got this one, which is all about traveling. And I love this because I have a master packing list for when I travel too. And, you know, you have to have that because if you don't, you're going to forget your pajamas or your socks or your shampoo, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, I had fun picking those out. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to tell you about one more thing. See this? Really nice, huh? It's going to be a shelf on that wall over there. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. What I want to do is put my serger thread on these, just line it up, and I don't know, maybe some other little nicky-nacky kind of things. Get those off my pegboard so that my pegboard isn't quite so jammed full of stuff. And up to today, I hadn't done it because I didn't have brackets, and I don't want floating shelves. So I went over to Lowe's and I found these, which are stainless steel. So these will go under like this, but I need to paint them. Of course I do. I saw some white ones at Home Depot, but Home Depot and I haven't been getting along lately. So I thought, I'll just get these. And I've got every color of spray paint under the entire rainbow. in the entire rainbow. Anyway, so I'm going to paint those, and then I'm going to put those up. One more thing to knock out with this sewing room, and I'm really looking forward to giving you a tour, and I've almost got it there. I put shelves up with my husband, and I finished up my little cabinet over here, all of which you will see when I do a tour. But oh my gosh, this took some getting used to at first, but oh, I love it so much. So tour to come. Let's move on into life. Well, obviously I was gone. I was supposed to only be gone for a long weekend. I left a week ago Wednesday, and I went up and was with my parents. Now, I do this every 6 to 8 weeks, and I do it to be helpful, and I also do it because I want to see them. I just do. My husband is so supportive. It is so nice that he is so supportive. And I went up for my, usual visit. I enjoy spending time with them so much. We laugh, we carry on, we watch TV, we do all the things. And I got on a plane and came home on Wednesday night. So that was life. And it's time to move on into a little bit of Jesus. So if that's where you check out, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you hanging with me and letting me yammer on about all this stuff. So I always appreciate you being here. I always appreciate you being here. How many times can I say that? Probably not enough. So I will see you next time, and thanks for watching. If you did hang out for a little bit of Jesus, then I want to tell you that I was reading through the Psalms, but they were really not speaking to me. So I went back to Matthew 5, and I was reading it today. You know what? It's the words of Jesus. Matthew 5 is the Sermon on the Mount, where it's the Beatitudes. Blessed are they when, blessed are the meek, blessed are I forget all of them, which is why I'm back in Matthew 5 again. But in it, Jesus says all these, blessed are these people, and goes through, and then he starts addressing all of the rules and regulations of the day. He'll say, you have heard it said that, thus and such a thing. But I tell you, and what he's doing is telling them that they're missing the point. So he gets to the end of that chapter, and he said something really good, and that's what I want to share with you. And I hope that it impacts you and speaks to you the way it does to me. This is from the Message version. In a word, what I'm saying is grow up. Your kingdom subjects, now live like it. Live out your God-created identity. Live generously and graciously. Live the way God lives towards you. That graciously and generously thing. You know what? When I wake up in the morning, I want to approach my day with that attitude. I want to be gracious in the way that I speak to people, the way I think about people. That's been getting me lately. And I want to live generously, and not just with money or time or things. I want to just be a generous person, a person who welcomes people in and is generous with everything, generous with my spirit. Because when I am generous with my spirit, things like money and time and things will all flow out of that. It's like you can't help but do them because you have a generous spirit. Well, that's what I want. And a gracious one, that cares about people. When I go through a checkout line, I try and do this. I don't always do it, but I try to look the cashier in the eye, because a lot of times they'll say, how you doing? And I go, I'm good. How are you? How's your day going? And look them in the eye, and it unnerves them sometimes, and other times they're just grateful. It's like, oh, she's not just spouting words, she really cares about me. And I think, well, yeah, I don't know you, and I'm not gonna come to your bedside when you're sick or anything like that, because I don't know you. But for this moment right now, I do care about you. I do care that if you're having a bad day or if you're having a good day or whatever, and if I can smile at you and let you know that I care about that, then that's going to change your day. That's a gracious spirit. And that's, Man, we got to aim for it, don't we? Got to aim for it. And so anyway, those impacted me today. It spoke to me. That verse spoke to me, and I hope it speaks to you. So I will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here so much. Thanks for hanging in there when I'm gone for a couple of weeks at a time. And I love you all. And I will see you next time.